Why don't we see more of you?
See, Masoom, I hate talking about myself. In my 48 years of being in the industry, I must have been late by 15 minutes twice in my life. Well, this is mentioned as a donut look. Abhi kya trend hai yaar? Then you end up looking like a donut only.
There's no way there aren't setbacks, right, in the journey. Is there something that happened that, made you feel like I can't go on?
After that episode, I went back to my regular smoking and I doubted myself for the next 3 to 4 years. I'm the kind of person who goes to work every morning and I say, Bhagwan, aaj laaj bacha. Your best makeup can look like crap. If I tell you this, you will not believe me. But in Rocky Rani, Alia did not wear any foundation.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still reeling from, how did you pull off Alia Bhatt's look without foundation?
Karan freaked out a little bit to say, listen, bro, I'm making a glamorous film. What are you saying? And Alia was okay. She said, I didn't know that I could go on camera without foundation and still look glamorous.
So, Mickey, you've done the makeup for every face that Indian women have ever aspired to look like.
Like I worked on Nutanji, I worked on Mala Sinha, I worked on Wahida Rehman, I worked on Helen, who was my inspiration at one time. And till today, I feel it was thanks to her that I'm part of this business. Say if you're 40, you'll still manage to look 28. Whereas Western skins at 28 will look like 40. It took me 25 years to bring it down to this. And now again, it's going back the other way.
When India's most powerful women want perfection, they call Mickey Contractor. And he's not just an artist, he's a revolution. He's a legend. A man who not just shaped faces, but an era of beauty in our country. He's a mastermind and an icon whose legacy will be studied for years to come. A man who made brown look so effortless. He's the personal makeup artist to Nita Ambani, Isha Ambani, Shloka Mehta Ambani, Kareena Kapoor Khan, Kajol, Rani, you name it all. Reports suggest his daily fee exceeds what many MNC CEOs earn. A rare glimpse into the economics of mastery at the very top. Today we go behind the brush with a man whose work is nothing short of legendary. Please welcome Mickey Contractor. Thank you so much, Mickey, for being here today. I know what it's taken.
Don't make it sound like you... I mean, okay, I don't want to say more about this.
When is the last time we met?
I think the first and the last time I met you before today was on your wedding day, na?
Yeah, absolutely.
That was what?
I have to share this with the community that I was really unwell that day. I had fever.
Yes,
I had fever on my wedding day. And you were amazing.
Yeah.
You held my hand to it. It was you and Richa that got that doctor in to give me an injection.
No, it was sweet, I thought. I mean...
Yeah.
You were what? You were very young now.
Yeah,
How
very young.
23, 24?
24, yeah. 24.
Yeah, I mean like...
24.
But it was a lovely day, I thought. And you looked great.
No, I'm ever so grateful to you for getting me ready for my wedding. It was so special. So special. I'll never...
It was simple. It was beautiful. You looked like yourself.
Yes.
And that's how I thought it should be. And the best part was that you agreed, which today not many brides do, because brides want to look a certain way and that's not my way. So that's why I've more or less stopped doing brides.
Oh, really? You have?
I do very few and far in between. People who are on the same page as me and who believe that it should just be an enhancement of your own natural beauty. Those are the brides I accept. People who want glitter and excess glam, then I just very...
So the one thing I remember is you really made me look like myself.
Yeah.
Even more than my other functions, which, I'd worked with other makeup artists on. I felt like on my wedding day, I was really embodying my personality, which is quite crazy to think that, because you don't know me as a person, right? But you were able to bring that out. When I see my photos now, you did that kajal, you did that beautiful pinkish brown lip.
Yeah.
And it was just so me.
Oh, I'm very glad that you think so, because, see, also, I tell the brides that, listen, I mean, don't, do makeup which is in trend today, because, eventually your wedding photographs stay with you for a lifetime. And when you have kids growing up, and I mean, we've done that to our parents and say, what the fuck were you thinking? Why have you got this beehive on your head? And why have you got this red lipstick? And so I feel the easier it is, the more you look like yourself. I think it's a classic, so it should stay that way.
What do you think is a conversation that every bride should have with their makeup artist, whoever it is?
I think more than the conversation, the first thing that a bride needs to do is enter the right shop. When I say enter the right shop, means choose the right makeup artist. That suits her personality, that suits her vision for the day. And say, for example, if you're coming to me, then in which case, the least you would have done is seen my Instagram page. You know the kind of makeup that I do. I don't use glitter and this cut crease, and I don't know what these days some of these makeup artists do, where they put a full white base on the lid and then start from scratch. I don't understand that makeup. I don't believe in that kind of makeup, and I don't do that kind of makeup. So if you want that, you need to enter another shop. So that's the first thing. Secondly, I think every bride needs to have a conversation about timing, about how long they think they will need to get ready, what kind of color palette the makeup artist plans to use, having seen their outfit. And what else? Also, I think the makeup artist should tell the bride that, listen, I don't want too many people around, because if there are too many people around, there are that many opinions. And for a bride, that's the worst thing that can happen, that there are 10 opinions coming her way. She's as it is nervous on that day. She has the nerves, and in the bargain, we get nervous. If there are 5 people saying, "Arey, the lipstick should be more pink. Arey, the eyeshadow should be more glittery." This doesn't work. It has to be one vision, either the bride's vision or the makeup artist's vision, or the hairstylist's vision, or a collaborative effort. And that is what works for the bride eventually. So all these discussions should be done way prior, not on the day. है ना?
Because on that day, you just want peace around you.
Exactly.
And
you hear
someone
some
you
nice
trust.
music. Yeah. And you just shut your eyes and just let the person do their job. And whatever little adjustment you need to do after is fine. But you have to be on the same page. That's important.
So, Mickey, you've done the makeup for every face that Indian women have ever aspired to look like.
Almost every face.
Almost every face, but you've done every face which has defined Indian beauty in one way or the other, right? Almost. I mean, of course, if we take it in the recent times and since your career has begun.
Yeah, from 79 onwards. Yeah. I mean, I've had the fortune of working with the great legendary actresses of, times before me. Like I worked on Nutanji, I worked on Mala Sinha, I worked on Wahida Rehman, I worked on Helen, who was my inspiration at one time. And still, till today, I feel it was thanks to her that I'm part of this business. So yeah, I was very fortunate. Rakhi, Parveen Babi, so Hemaji. All of these women who were superstars when I entered.
Absolutely.
But I had a chance to work with all of them. Thanks to Gautam Rajadaksha. I mean, we used to do a lot of photo shoots together. So for Filmfare or for Cineblitz or some magazine or the other at that time, those days there was no social media. That was the only way people got publicity, right? So we used to work on a lot of stuff like that.
So when you see a woman's face, what is the first thing you see?
See, the obvious answer would be eyes. But it's very strange. I have a thing for hands and feet. So when I see a woman, the first thing I see is her hands and feet.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And apart from that, when it comes to makeup, then I see the skin, then the eyes, and then the overall. I mean, see, every woman has something that is really stunning about her, right? So now, as soon as you figure what it is that you want to enhance, so it's the overall impression of a woman. And then I think as you go along, you keep building. So maybe first you'll say, oh, she has a great skin, so let me keep her skin intact and let's not be stupid enough to cover it up with so much foundation. And then from there on, then you say, okay, maybe the eyes also shouldn't be too much. Maybe she needs a pair of lashes. Maybe, the lips should be this color. So it just...
So what do you see when you look at my face?
I see calm. So I feel, see, you wear minimal makeup. I've never seen you overdone up. I mean, even now, you're wearing minimal makeup. So I that's very up my alley. So I can appreciate this a lot.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. Thank you. And if you had to change something?
Why would I want to change it?
No, the makeup, not the face.
No, of course, I'm talking about the makeup only. If I had to change something, I'd say you could use a little more mascara, maybe curl your lashes. Just those few adjustments, and you're good to go.
I know you love our content. I don't doubt it one bit. But I'd love if you can prove it to me by hitting the subscribe button. It's just 3 inches away from your thumb. Hit it and let's build the largest women content community in India. So, Mickey, you started working in 78.
Yeah.
And you're still here, and you're still roaring, and you're still majestic, and you're still so hard to get to. You know, how are you still... I don't like the word relevant. I don't know what it is. That word just gives me that. But you know, how have you created such a timeless brand for yourself?
See, first of all, I don't consider myself a brand. That
You
is
should
one.
then. You should start today.
No, I'll tell you what. Problem is, these days people take themselves too seriously. You know, I've always believed, keep your head down. You've gone there to work, just do your job and get back home. So just concentrate on what you're doing and stay relevant just by staying in touch with reality, with people. I mean, my inspiration comes from seeing women on a day-to-day basis. I'll see somebody at the airport and something might inspire me about her. I'll see some woman carrying a handbag and that handbag will inspire me. I don't know sometimes kya ho jata hai, you know. It's just something I can't put a finger on. But like I've been eyeing your necklace. Since the time you said hi, I've been eyeing your necklace. And I'm saying, oh, these colors are so nice. Maybe one should, try and do a smokey eye in this kind of color palette. So you don't know what is going to trigger it. And as far as being relevant, I think, see, things have just happened to me. God has been very kind. I came in at a time when there were not that many makeup artists, and people from decent families were not coming into this field thinking कि अरे film industry तो पूरे बदनाम, you'll go there and start drinking and smoking and get into bad company. It was just all bullshit. Once I came into this industry, I realized that here the people actually are very honest and very straightforward. I'm talking about the technicians. Okay? They come there because they need to earn their livelihood, look after their families. Yes, because of proximity, there are affairs happening even within the technicians, outside of marriage. But I think that's a normal thing. It doesn't have to be a particular industry. वो तो कहीं भी हो सकता है, right? But so I came into the industry. I met great people. Initially, they were not very kind to me because I was this one Gora Chitta English-speaking guy, and it was predominantly a very Maharashtrian-led makeup field. Most of the makeup dadas were mostly Maharashtrians. There was another one Parsi gentleman called Sarosh Modi, who was another legendary makeup artist, who used to do Sanjeev Kumar's makeup that time. So he was there. I, in fact, approached him first, thinking that I might have more of a, what can I say? Rapport with him. But he said that he already had 2 assistants and he couldn't take on the third one. That is how I went to Pandri Dada next. And then I started working with him. And one thing led to the other. But I never looked back because I did not have a problem working hard. I didn't mind those 18, 19 hours. Those days, actors used to do triple shifts. So we used to work from 7 in the morning. So from 7 to 2, 2 to 10, 10 to whatever. So ऐसे करते, we would end up working 18 hours, 19 hours a day. And I didn't have a problem doing that. So that was one. Then I did a lot of regional films. So got a lot of experience there. And there were no institutes that time. There was no internet. There was no nothing. So we had to learn on the job. Today, you can't expect people will let you learn on the job because nobody has the time for it. Then Then at a point, I felt that there was not enough respect given to makeup artists those days. So I decided that I wanted to make a shift. So from films, I went into advertising. And I think for around 10 or 12 years, I did not touch a film.
Okay.
I just did advertising work. And then I started shooting covers with Gautam. And advertising gave me the confidence to cut down the makeup. You know, because we used to shoot soap commercials. Like I used to almost do all the Lux commercials in those 5-6 years. And we used to do a lot of under the shower sequences where the face had to be wet. So we used to do waterproof makeup. Makeup, what we used to do in films also was waterproof that time because there were no air-conditioned studios. You see? So we had to keep the base quite heavy because it had to last you the whole day. So there used to be the Panstick and the pancake, and then keep touching up with pancake because the actors used to sweat a lot. So if you see the movies in the 60s and the 70s, and if you see a dance sequence, if the heroine puts her hands up, you will see those sweat patches in her underarms.
Absolutely.
So
yes.
those were the days. And so anyway, coming back to my journey, I came into advertising, learned the technique of how do you put on enough makeup to cover the skin wherever needed and yet make it look like there is no makeup on the face because she's having a shower. And slowly from there on, when I did my next film, which was Bekhud in 92 with Kajol, that was Kajol's first film, I tried to bring that complete clean skin kind of look in the industry. And I was very keen to change the face of the Bollywood heroine. I was not very happy with this over dramatic makeup. You know, while you're dying also, you've got full makeup on, fake lashes on, red lipstick on. I'm like, you know, something is amiss here. There is a place where I could bring about a change, and that's what I did. So I think from then on, then there was no looking back. Then Mac came into my life. 11 years I was with Mac. I got to learn a lot from there also because we used to travel a lot to all these international destinations for a lot of meetings. So we used to exchange a lot of ideas with international makeup artists all over the world. And, you know, so things just happened to me.
You are the person, I think globally, the only person who's had an epinomous collection with MAC.
I think so. I'm not very sure about
And
that.
the product that you formulated
Yeah.
is still one of the best-selling products all over the world.
Yeah, the lipstick Meher, which I named after my wife, was supposed to be a limited edition. But I mean, it did so well and the demand was so much that I think they made it into their regular lineup. Even Yash, for that matter. And the concealer palettes, the color corrector, all these things.
So you
made-
are the influencer in the truest sense of the word before the industry was born. Because that's what you did. You were an expert in something and you were able to collaborate with a brand and
Yeah.
actually get consumers everywhere to want it and want to have it because of where your expertise lied. I think that was legendary.
No, I'm glad you think that. It was definitely what can I say? Milestone in my career for sure. You know, see, I never expected that an international brand as big as Mac would ever want to hire me for something, you know, and it happened. I mean, there were many makeup artists they could have chosen because there are a lot of makeup artists in the film industry. But they kept waiting for me because I was not available when they were here to do interviews. I was not here. And they waited for me. And once I met them, then they said, this is it. So you have to be part of this brand. I said, okay, fine. I mean, for me, it was going to be a great experience. So I said, what am I going to lose? Let me do it. But it definitely was a milestone in my career, for sure.
Why don't we see more of you?
Why would you want to see more of me?
Why not? Because you're such a legend.
See, Masoom, I hate talking about myself. Okay. And today, when you say don't see you, means you're talking about social media, you're talking about just generally going to
Of
public
course.
events and stuff.
No, I'm talking
You're
also about your
expected-
voice. Your voice as a voice in the industry.
See, the people who matter, they're listening to what I have to say. Right? It may not be public, but like brands are still in touch with me. Certain brands are still in touch with me. I mean, if they always ask me for my feedback. So all that is happening on the side. But today, the day and age is such where you have to talk about yourself and say how good you are and how great you are. And I can't do that. I would rather somebody else say it than, me going out and saying, I did this, I did that, give me credit for this, give me credit for that. It's okay, you keep doing your job. And because you do a good job, the next job follows. That is all I want. I'm a very, very satisfied, what can I say? I'm a very content person by nature. So I'm not looking for more. You know what I mean? And now I'm kind of close to a retirement age. I'm 64. I've worked for almost 50 years. What more can I ask for? I mean, how many other makeup artists will say that, okay, I've been doing makeup actively for that many years? I'm very content in my space.
Have you ever thought of having your own brand? It's been, and I have to ask you this because it's been such a natural trajectory for so many makeup artists.
See, when I first started, we had nothing, right? We used to get nothing. Nothing was available in the country. We used to literally smuggle in like 4 or 5 products every time we traveled, which was once in 2 years maybe. So we started from nothing. Then things opened up. The markets got flooded. So we started getting everything that we needed. Now we have an overdose of everything. Hai na? Now the problem is there is so much to choose from that there is confusion. It's an overload. Where I can come into the picture is where I'll say, okay, let's cut out the noise. This we don't need, that we don't need. Let's bring about just a comprehensive kit that every woman needs. Because I've always said, you don't need too much. And every product can be used in multiple ways. So you don't need 6 eyeshadow palettes and 10 lipsticks, and it's not necessary. If you have 4 lip pencils, you can make 16 lip colors out of it. You just have to change the lip liner and the lipstick and you get a different color. So things like these, this is probably where I can come into the picture. And see, talking about starting a brand, I'm not a businessman. Okay, I don't understand numbers at all. So either I have to get the right partner who will do the business side of it, and then I can do the creative side of it. And it has to be almost an equal partnership. I'm not interested in this 2%, 5% kind of, I'm not interested.
And this actually opens it up to a large segment that I'm kind of leading into now, which is, I truly believe you're someone who really understands Indian women and Indian skin.
Yeah.
So we actually turn to our community and ask them a bunch of questions that they would love to ask you.
Okay.
So let's talk about Indian skin specifically. And you've done every shade that there is. But why do Indian women go so wrong with choosing the right foundation shade?
I don't think that happens in today's day as much as it was happening 15 years back.
Okay.
Also because the foundations that were available, first of all, 15 years back, there were very few women in India who used to wear foundation, first of all.
Okay.
Okay. Then the shades that were available, there were gaps. So either it was too fair or too dark. And Indian women, for some odd reason, have always gone for the fairer shade, unfortunately. But today things are changing. Awareness has made them realize that by using a lighter color, you're going to go ashy. So you'd rather take one shade darker so that when it settles, it looks like your skin. And in India, you actually, when you think about it as a country, from north to south, you'll get every single color that you possibly want. Like you'll get white skin, then you'll get with a peach undertone, then you'll get a wheat undertone, which is a yellow undertone, and then you will get the blues and the greens going towards the south. So you have every possible skin color in this country. It's just that when I was back and we used to say, okay, we are specifically making this for the Indian skin tone, what we meant was to make it sound simple for the regular consumer. We were trying to attempt to make the right shades for the wheatish skin. So the yellow undertone that was missing is what we brought in. You know?
Okay.
So that's what we meant that time by saying that, okay, this is for the Indian skin.
Because
But-
Indian skin in itself has actually so many tones.
But Indian skin is so good. Indian
Yeah.
skin is so healthy. It's not excessively dry like most European skins. If you see, it's pretty dry. Even American skin is very dry and it's very fine. We Indians are blessed with a skin that is just right. Sometimes
Oily.
you might feel that, oh, Indians have very oily skins,
Yeah.
but oily skin is good for you because it doesn't age you. So that is why Indians at a certain age will look, say if you're 40, you'll still manage to look 28. Whereas Western skins at 28 will look like 40. I don't mean to demean anyone. I'm just saying what I genuinely have noticed over a period of time.
I mean, something I've noticed living in Europe, and it's just an opinion, but I've seen wrinkles happen much quicker
That's
to
what is
European
due
skin.
to dryness. Also, the fact that their skin is very, very thin.
Yeah.
So,
And it's so crazy you said this because the next thing I wanted to ask you was actually about managing that oily skin, right? Indians do have oily skin. So when we put our makeup, by 2 p.m., we feel like we're standing on top of a stove and we're like melting.
but Masoom, think about it this way. Every time you eat or drink, you tend to touch up your lipstick, right? So every couple of hours, just take a compact and just dab your skin. That's all it is. It's not rocket science. I mean, 4 times a day, so you can touch up. Just take a compact, just dab it, and you're done.
So every time I do that, and I
Yeah.
don't know if everyone here agrees with
Yeah.
me, but I feel like I'm putting too much product. Every time I'm dabbing that into my skin.
No, frankly, what happens is if in a compact, it's meant to matte your skin, right? So when you're mattifying your skin, if you feel that, okay, there's too much product that's going on, all you have to do is take a damp sponge and go over it again, and it will balance it out. So it will not be too dry and it will not be too oily. So it's just simple techniques that I mean, we use it on a daily basis during films. So
You do, and yet today's generation of young women have moved so far away from powders. It's all about
it's unfortunate, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's unfortunate because powder, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, I find powders very important in setting the makeup. And I am a big champion of the T-zone that needs to actually be matte. Especially if you're facing camera, if you're under lights. Because when I see artists putting highlighter here. And I'm wondering, what kind of lighting are they shooting in? Because in my opinion, again, it's just wrong. Because if you matte the T-zone, first of all, if the T-zone is matte and the sides are shiny, I can understand that, okay, you want this glow, right? So the glow doesn't have to be all over the face. It has to be in parts, right? And when you put it against a matte, the glow actually makes sense. If everything is glowing, you're
Yeah.
looking like an oily mess.
What is your opinion on the setting spray? And there's also this huge confusion, right? That what do you set your makeup with? Should you set it with setting spray? Should you set it with setting powder? And now there's this new baking powder.
This baking and all that. Abhi dekho. We used to do the same thing. We used to never call it baking. We used to just put excessive powder before. I mean, I'm talking about the 80s and 90s when we used to do these double layered makeup. Na? We used to do Panstick, then we used to powder, like a hell of a lot of powder. Then we used to spray water on it. And then with our fingers, we used to go all circular movements. So that way the powder would settle into the foundation. And then we would paint the pancake over it so that it would last the whole day. And we would have to do minimal touch-ups. But now people are saying, oh, powders we don't want to use. We want to use setting spray. Okay, so use setting spray. Whatever makes you happy, you can use. I am happy with my powder. और अगर आप बोल रहे हो कि सेटिंग स्प्रे मार दिया आपने तो makeup should not move na for 8-9 hours. Then why are you touching up makeup? So why do the brides want the makeup artist to go to the venue for touch-ups? You've got setting spray on. है ना? So it's not making sense to me.
And don't kill me, but what is Panstick?
Panstick is an emollient-based foundation. Okay. So like we have Kryolan. We used to use Max Factor then. So Panstick is like a cream-based foundation. Okay. So it's let's say it's like a thick cream with color. So when you spread it, it actually sits like second skin.
And this is different from the foundation we're using today?
Today most people start, anyway, about what I'm about to say might be controversial. Most people like to use liquid foundation. Okay? Liquid foundation is great. But on film, liquid foundation is a mess because to keep using that foundation, after every couple of hours, you're adding on a layer, it becomes a little messy and what can I say, the texture starts to show, you know. Whereas Panstick, you can touch up and yet it doesn't look too textured. So I'm still very comfortable with my Pansticks and I'm very comfortable with cream products, you know, rather than liquid because they stay on longer and they're easy to touch up.
Wow, I didn't know that.
I mean, for me.
Yeah, no, I mean, I didn't know what Panstick is. So I learned something new today.
It's a foundation.
Okay.
And pancakes used to be like how you get your compact.
Yeah.
It used to be a round thing which is water-based. So you have to put water and spread it with a brush or a sponge. I mean, we used to cover our heroines with pancake all over their arms and also that they would not get burnt. And the face and the arms would match. Because those days we were still using lighter shades on more darker women also. So to match the face to the neck and the body, every part of the body that was exposed to the camera was painted. So those were the days.
And now it's changed so much.
It's changed completely.
And there's so much credit given to you. And I'm not. This is not personal, but this is just by the industry where you really introduced the whole no makeup trend in Bollywood.
Yeah.
Right? Where you kind of steered the entire industry away and said, you know, let the actresses look like themselves.
Yes. But that was a very conscious decision. And like I said, that is what I learned from doing advertising work, where I figured a way to make the makeup look like it's not there. And when I say makeup means I mean foundation. I don't mean eyeshadows and that also I calmed down a lot. I got into the browns and the ochres and the beiges, but just that thick layer of foundation that I took away. In fact, it's all back in the bridal business.
Yes.
What I see on Instagram today, people are just adding on layers and layers and layers. And I'm like, it took me 25 years to bring it down to this. And now again, it's going back the other way.
Yes, so, you are right. Now that I think about it, you're right.
When you see tutorials and when you see some makeup artists showing their skills, you say, okay, but how do you put on that many layers of makeup? And you're claiming that it will not crack. How? I mean, I would love to go and meet those guys and learn a few things from them. Honestly, I'm not being condescending. I'm actually meaning it from the bottom of my heart. I want to actually see whether it cracks or not, or are they using filters, or it's not possible for a bride when she's smiling the whole evening. She's going to look like she's got smile lines of an 80-year-old. Under the eyes are going to crack like no one's business. How are you using those 20 products? And when you're first showing me the complete look, it's with a filter. But what does it look like without the filter? Because people are not going to see her with a filter on, na? So I would love to know this. I mean, unfortunate that we never get to see other people's work.
Yes.
You know, we are so bothered about what we are doing, but how do I see somebody else's bride? है ना? Or somebody else's actress. Okay, both actresses, if they're working together, you get to see everybody's makeup. But as far as bridal is concerned, oh, शादी में I'll have to gate crash to just go and check
I
what's
agree
happening.
with you because I just saw you did a makeup look for Kareena Kapoor. And it was incredible because I could see the texture of her skin and it was beautiful. You know, she was glowing.
Yeah.
And now when I'm comparing that to the bridal makeup that I see on Instagram now, which is that massive cake
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
under eyes, and you know that shine that comes from over powdering on the under eyes, I can see the difference, and it's actually flipped because now the actresses are
Trying to look as real as possible. Like, for example, I'll tell you, it's not everybody. Kareena particularly is not very fond of covering up too much, retouching her photos too much. She wants to look like herself. Her thing is, when I go out in public, I should look the same as what I look in my photos. And I completely understand and appreciate that. But there are very few of them like that. Everybody wants to look perfect. And eventually it's a dream you're selling. So I think that is also fine. You know, you are trying to make people aspire to look like you.
yeah.
That is the actor's job.
But I think aspiration has changed today. I mean, don't mind me, but I
No.
think the aspiration is in a woman who is. I don't know. For me, it's
But that's a very small percentage you're talking about. If you're talking all India, what is the percentage that wants to look real?
no, but I mean, it's not like you're looking that real, right? You're not walking out without makeup. Like you're just it's a version of it, but it is today everything. Like social media has taken over, you know, overexposure on all fronts.
Yeah.
But it's all going to move because how long can you put up this act? Anyone? How long can anyone put up an act? And for how long?
It's a trend that's going on.
Yeah.
Something else will come.
Yeah,
This will
something
be
else will come.
negated in no time. I mean,
Yeah.
things keep changing. I've seen too many changes happen. So,
Yeah, I know.
you know,
You have.
it's
You
like,
have.
it doesn't matter.
So, there was this research done. Indian women specifically, what is the part of their face that they're the most conscious about? Which is basically what they want to cover up the most. And the answer was
Pigmentation.
Yes. Pigmentation all over the face and also under eyes. Dark under
circles,
eyes.
under eyes. See, under eye issues, the world over problem. Pigmentation, particularly in India, there is a lot more. I don't know the real reason behind it.
That's okay. We want to
But,
know how to conceal it.
So, see, again, now it depends. There are some women who want to completely cover it. Completely. वो complete cover करने में you have to use 3 layers. So what happens is if you're covering this area, these lines will come. I'm saying don't attract attention towards the pigmentation by covering it completely. Because if you cover this and you're putting 3 layers, it means you're putting 3 layers all over the face. Because you can't do 3 layers here and 1 layer in the rest of the face, right? I'm saying cover it 60%. Keep a little bit of it showing through. Doesn't matter. Nobody's skin is just perfect. है ना? So little bit showing is a small compromise to make rather than covering it up completely and drawing attention to it.
Got it.
So even under eyes, same thing. You try and cover. You can cover completely. But उसके 1 घंटे के बाद क्या होगा? You'll have a lot of lines under your eyes. It'll make you look like you're 20 years older. Not worth it. Cover only about 50 to 60%. Let a little come through. It doesn't matter.
And what is the best way to cover?
With a concealer. And a color corrector. Yeah.
Corrector first and then concealer.
Yeah. Some people just, like sometimes it depends from skin to skin, person to person, the intensity of the dark circle or the pigmentation. I sometimes mix the color corrector with the concealer and use it. Then I powder it. And then when I do the rest of the foundation, I just go very lightly over it to just make sure that everything is evened out. That's how I do it. So,
what is your order of makeup? This is a question that troubles a lot of us.
See, I've always done this. See, initially when we used to do Panstick, I spoke to you about the Panstick pancake, which we used to do in the 70s, 80s. We used to never use moisturizer under the makeup because as soon as you use a moisturizer, then you use a stick or whichever foundation, and then you have to put water spray over it, everything would slip off. So we used to never use moisturizer under. But now, with the kind of makeup we are doing, I would say moisturizer. I sometimes use Fix Plus, which is, I don't know whether I can say it here or not, but
Of course.
So I use Fix Plus just to plump up the skin a little bit, then use the concealer, foundation, and powder, and then the contouring. Some people like to do the eyes first so that all the fall off that happens, they can clean up and then, but fortunately, with the grace of God, there's no fallout, so it's fine.
You're the master of
No,
the
it's not
smoky
about
eye. There's
master.
no
No.
fallout gonna happen.
It can happen. I mean, some product can have a little more fallout than the other. So usko ठीक कर लेते हैं बाद में. It's not a problem. You don't have to remove and redo or anything like that. ऊपर से ही उसको brush off करके with a wet sponge you just blend it and then things happen.
You're the master of the smoky eye. That I think that's one of your most iconic makeup looks, right?
It got noticed a lot. That's why it became iconic. I think, see, everything that gets noticed, na, वो iconic बन जाता है. So, why the smoky eye got noticed in Chalte Chalte on Rani Mukherjee is because I did the smoky eye throughout the film. I always believe that if you're doing a look in a film which is slightly hatke from what you're regularly doing, then you need to continue that look through the film for the audience to register. Like, for example, in Rocky Rani, when I did Alia's makeup, I kept her. If I tell you this, you will not believe me. But in Rocky Rani, Alia did not wear any foundation. She was okay with it. When I suggested it, she was okay with it. Karan freaked out a little bit to say, listen, bro, I'm making a glamorous film. What are you saying? I said, let me just do the look test with you. And then if you don't like it, we'll change it. But he went with it. And Alia was okay. She said, I didn't know that I could go on camera without foundation and still look glamorous. So, like I'm saying, through the film, if you notice, there is no foundation on her face. There's only concealer under the eyes, and then there's the smoky eye. Then we did the cheeks with a cream product so that there was that enough glow in it. And we did like a nude lip. It was just enough. Those eyes did the rest. It was just the kajal, a little bit of liners, which was smoked out, and mascara. And I think I also used a thin line of lashes, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember now. So, coming back to the smoky eye, there's a very interesting story. The first day I did the smoky eye on Rani, I told her that I don't get shocked when you see the mirror, because I usually don't let the actors sit in front of the mirror. When I'm shooting outdoors, I like them to face the natural light, because it gives me every detail that I need to see, right? So she was sitting near a window and there was no mirror in front of her. So I said, don't freak out when you see it. I'm attempting a smoky eye, which is a dark black smoky eye. I think it will work. So Rani said, you're sure, na, it will work? I said, I'm sure it will work. She said, then fine. I trust your opinion. Okay, we did it. We went on set. Farah took a look at Rani and said, Farah Khan, she was choreographing the song. She said, Mickey, what is this Mahabharat makeup you've done and come? So I said, Farah, I'm not telling you how to show them dance steps, na? Tu apna kar, main apna karta hu. So she was like, whatever. But to her credit, when she was editing the song, she called me from the editing studio and said, Mickey, I just saw the rushes. Rani's looking fantastic. Those eyes are fab. So it sometimes takes a little time for the audience to understand or grasp or accept. But if you do it through the film, by the end of the film, that becomes the personality of the star. So that's how it works.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still reeling from, how did you pull off Alia Bhatt's look without foundation?
Very easy. She has great skin. So we used to just prep the skin and just do concealer. And I think her makeup used to take 20 minutes, 25 minutes.
I
that
love
was
that.
it. Yeah.
I'm a big sucker for quick makeup. So
I mean, see, makeup doesn't have to take that much time. Some people like to work slow. My thing is, my thought comes to me faster than my hands can work. So, जितना जल्दी thought आ रहा है, उतना जल्दी face पे होना चाहिए.
No, I
That's-
remember you finished. I was ready way before time with you
For your
on my
wedding, no?
wedding. Yeah.
Because brides are used to having makeup done for 2 hours. Oh, it's not necessary.
Can you walk us through, only if you can you walk us through your smoky eye steps?
So, first of all, what is a smoky eye? First, this misconception we have to get rid of that smoky eyes means dark black eyes. No. Smoky eye means anything that you do on the eyes without any harsh lines. Okay? Like no etched out eyeliner. Everything has to be blended and smoked out. Basically, that is the definition of a smoky eye.
Okay.
Now, if you don't want to put kajal inside the eyes, you don't have to put kajal inside the eyes. All you have to do is do the shadow on the top of your lid, and the same with a pencil brush or a thin brush. Just take the same eyeshadow, just do it on the lower lid, smoke it out, and that's your smoky eye.
But the shadow should be black or
It
dark
doesn't
brown.
have to be. It can be any color you want. It can be any color you want. It can be a beige smoky eye, a brown smoky eye, a blue smoky eye. It doesn't have to be black. It's just we Indians love black around the eyes. I love black around the eyes. Okay, I just say we Indians like I love black around the eyes. Let's put it
That's
that
true.
way. Blacks and browns are my favorite eyeshadows to use, and I can use just that much or that much and make it work. बस वो उतना ही है. स्मोकी आई का वो मतलब है कि जो भी करो sharp lines नहीं होना चाहिए.
So if it's a black smoky eye, then we've got black eyeshadow.
You
then
can
we've
do
got
it with black eyeshadow. You can do it with brown eyeshadow, but you can call it a brown and black smoky eye.
Okay.
So what you do is, say for example, you want a softer look, not a black, jet black, like a stark look. You go with a brown. Then you take a liner, you put the liner very close to the lash, and then you take a pencil brush and you smoke
Smudge
it
it
out and smudge it. When you curl your lashes and put mascara or lashes, the gradation shows. You know. And it's
And
very
that-
simple. It's
Yeah.
सिर्फ हवा है. This smoky eye thing, people think, oh, smoky. And no, it's very easy. In fact, it's simpler than doing a liner.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people can't get the liner right on both sides. The smoky eye is the solution. Then do smoky eyes and be happy.
Is there on the topic of eyeliner, is there a specific eyeliner shape that works for most Indian faces?
No, there is no such thing. I think eyeliner has to fit each eye. So I think the best way to do it is try out 3 different liners
And
and
see
see
what
which one
works.
looks best on you. And I always say, do not try on the day when you have to go out. In the evening, when you're all ready and sitting for your makeup, you're trying 2 things. No. Do it a day prior, do it 3 days prior so that you can practice a little bit. Liners don't come easily to everybody. You have
Yeah,
to
they
practice a little bit, and especially if you're doing it on yourself. So
And you love kajal, right?
I love kajal. I love it. People say, oh, kajal लगाने से आंखें छोटी लगती है. Bullshit. ऐसा कुछ नहीं. ऐसा कुछ नहीं.
And it's got such a resemblance to Indian culture and
More
kind
than
of
that,
it's
even if the girl is wearing a gown, I still do kajal and it
Oh,
still looks
really?
great. Yeah.
I haven't tried that.
Well, you see, a lot of the people on the red carpet in Hollywood, they wear kajal. It may not be black, it may be blue, it may be green, but they all wear kajal. Not all, but a lot of them wear kajal. ऐसा नहीं है.
Yeah, true.
It's a myth that kajal makes the eyes look smaller. I'll tell you, for the simple reason that it will make a definite line. So you know कि आँख इतनी है. But then if you curl your lashes and do the mascara right, you open up the eye anyway. So the compensation happens. And yet the eyes can then express more because every time you talk, there's a twinkle in your eye when the kajal is on.
Yeah.
It otherwise sometimes looks blank.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So
yeah.
yeah.
Do you use highlighter when you're doing makeup, or is that something you
Are
stay
you
away
saying
from?
about the cheeks or the brows? Under the brow bone. Which highlighter are you talking about?
Both.
I use highlighters all the time.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, something that's very interesting to see today is, how you just said that you did Alia's makeup in 20 minutes. But what we are consuming on the internet today is these 35-step routines. right? So they start with moisturizer, move to primer, then the setting spray comes before the foundation, then comes the foundation, then it just goes on, and it can get quite overwhelming too.
See, skincare is each one's personal issue, right? Everybody does their own skincare. By the time they come to my chair, that has happened at home. If at all it's happened. There are so many of them who don't do anything, and it's very difficult for people to believe. They all think कि अरे ये heroines तो इतने इतने हजारों का क्रीम लगाती है, लाखों का क्रीम लगाती है, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. I'm telling you, so many times I have to beg them, for God's sake, please at least moisturize. Please at least. दूसरा कुछ मत करो, moisturize करो और हफ्ते में 2 बार scrub करो, because we do makeup the whole day. The makeup stays on your face. You need to exfoliate and remove all the grime from your face. So twice a week max. A soft scrub would be nice. Because, putting on makeup on dead, dry, dull skin, it does not look its best. Right? So this is all I request, is a scrub and moisturizer. That's all you really need. There are women who do this 15. Oh, it's good for you. But according to me, under makeup, not necessary. I'm not a primer fan also. But whoever feels that, okay, primer is making my makeup look better, good for you, bro. Use it. Whatever makes your work look better.
Yeah.
I don't have issues with that.
Yeah.
My work, I feel, looks better when I do lesser layering. Jitna kam layering hoga. See, my whole funda in life is just keep it simple. Not just in makeup, in everything. I just don't like jhanjat. Keep it simple. Just moisturize, do the makeup, set it, and then maintain it through the day. Bas. उसमें क्या rocket science है?
What is a makeup trend that you hate?
I don't follow trends. Today I'm not with any brand. I can say that I don't follow trends. But I'd rather make the trend, na?
Yeah.
So
tell me one trend that you've made which has been adopted by everyone.
Smokey eye.
Your favorite
The
one
no
is smokey
makeup
eye.
kind of foundation. Yeah.
Tell me something.
Minimalism, basically.
Yeah.
My minimalism is what people have picked. That's what I'd say.
But tell me something that I know you don't follow trends. I just had to ask you that question. But tell me something you've
You
seen.
knew it already. You knew it. Huh. You wanted me to say it.
Tell me something.
So you're not so masoom after all.
But tell me something you've seen on the internet or while scrolling and you're like, this is literally, as someone who is so educated in makeup, this is the worst thing I've seen.
यार, this excessive shine that they do ना, पता नहीं सो क्या बोलते हैं. People keep giving names to these trends.
Dewy glow.
Dewy is not dewy. Dewy means it has to be soft and dewy. Dewy doesn't mean an oily mess. What is that? That donut. क्या बोलते हैं? Something like that. Well, this is mentioned as a donut look. क्या अभी क्या trend है यार? Then you end up looking like a donut only. मुझे नहीं समझ में आता. I'll say that. जो करता है, जिसके लिए सूट होता है, great. मुझे नहीं समझ में आता वो. So, मैं नहीं करता.
And what about contouring?
I'm a big one for contouring. I just feel contouring should be done but blended well.
Okay.
That is important. You can contour the hell out of her face, but don't let it show. Like, no sharp lines again. It has to be diffused. It has to be part of the face. It cannot be something that ऊपर से लगाया and it's sitting on your face and people can see it. वो नहीं होना चाहिए.
It's everyone getting glammed up and doing this much makeup is a rather new phenomenon. So I remember even just 10 years ago when I was shooting for my blog and I would get ready, I would always get this comment from everyone that, would your skin get ruined if you use so much makeup and so often?
My perspective on that is the opposite. I feel that makeup for say 7 to 8 hours a day, if you're wearing, you're actually using that as a barrier, from all the pollution and the sun. So as long as you remove your makeup well at the end of the day and sleep with fresh clean skin, you're good. This is my
Yeah.
perspective.
Yeah.
But and you're using good quality makeup. It's not that you're using trash, right?
Absolutely.
So
Yeah. What do global beauty brands misunderstand about Indian skin? Because today every global brand wants to enter this market and finds it to be so juicy and attractive, with India now predicted to be the next superpower in luxury. Is there something they're not getting right?
apart from the skin tones that they have introduced, I think now we are more or less on the right track. I don't think there is anything that I have a complaint against. Ki, Baba, this is not for suitable for Indian skin tones, or this is not the texture that we like to use. Abhi to sab mil raha hai. I think we are more or less there.
Very good.
Yeah.
From the start of your career, is there one person who you think has really stood by you and, made a world of a difference to where you are today?
I would say Gautam Rajadaksha had a big part to play in my life. Where we became a team. He was the photographer, I was the makeup artist, and those days there were no stylists, there were no designers who used to send clothes for photo shoots, or so. We only used to style. I used to do hair and makeup both, and it was way easier. Those days there were no 20 managers. So if we wanted to shoot with Madhuri, we used to call up Riku and say, Riku ji, परसों हम लोग free हैं, माधुरी आ सकती है क्या photo shoot के लिए? And Gautam used to shoot it at his house, which is at Hughes Road. Madhuri used to come all the way from the suburbs. After finishing 3 shifts or 2 shifts, she used to come there, remove her makeup, used to give her rest for like half an hour, 45 minutes, have a cup of tea, start doing her makeup at 10:30, 11 at night.
Oh my
And we used to wrap up at 3:34, and she had a 7 o'clock shift again. So those were the days, So we used to just go to Kala Niketan, pick up those cheap, those cut pieces that are left behind. Nobody's going to buy half a meter, quarter meter. We used to bring those things and then put it together, either taka laga, udhar aisa. Images were made from nothing those days. So if you see Cineblitz covers, and we were doing covers month after month, and we used to keep creating. And Gautam always stood by me. Like, he always said, Mickey, you do whatever you want. I'll light it my way and we'll make it happen. Kitna crop karna hai? And those days, choosing a transparency. We used to shoot on transparencies those days. So then to choose the picture, there was no touching up. So if a little bit of the brass strap was showing, you could not use the picture. One hair is out of place, you couldn't use the picture. So times were different.
Wow.
So I would say Gautam stood by me. I mean, he used to even let me choose the pictures.
And how do you feel if you now cut to a time where there are so many filters, there are so many edits happening on photos, and just on that final product in the fashion and film industry?
Like I'm saying, we have to move with the times. You have to accept that, Baba, chalo, there are very many good things that are happening also. Now you can even touch up on film. I mean, since the last couple of years, you've been able to touch up on film. But it just makes your work look better. I just feel sometimes when they overdo it, to thoda galat ho jata hai. But if they can keep it under control, the touching up and the post-production, whether it is for magazines, whether it is for ads, whether it is for film, it just has to be just enough. Where they don't start looking plastic. That's the thing. Otherwise, all this is coming at a time where we feel, okay, now that the lenses are much sharper, now that we are shooting on digital, every hair, every pore is seen on big screen. When it gets magnified that many times, it's different when you're sitting across.
Absolutely.
And, your naked eye will not see what the camera will see. So those things matter.
And on the same note, is there an obstacle that you faced in your career that you feel like, has really set you back? Because we see these stories of 40 years of being in the industry, 40 plus,
47, 48 almost,
years of being in the industry, and you've built it with so much respect and so much dignity, and I have utmost respect for that. But for that 19-year-old makeup artist who's tuning in today, And you have no idea. You asked me this absolutely ridiculous question when the camera was not rolling. And I have to say it out loud, which is you said that who is going to watch this? And I don't think you realize that the next generation of makeup artists are going to watch this because you have been the maestro. So for them, there's no way there aren't setbacks, right, in the journey. Is there something that happened that, made you feel like I can't go on or I can't continue, and you had to be able to push through that?
In your career, there are times when you feel, am I good enough? Should I be doing this? And it's happened to me a couple of times. In fact, in the recent past, like within the last 10 years, it's happened to me twice. This is another reason why I have taken a step back from bridal makeup. I'd gone to dress a bride, and I don't know what the real issue was, because I did her makeup in the morning. She had her fairas in the morning. I did it. She was absolutely fine. In the evening, there was her reception. So I went, and suddenly some switch happened, and she was like, no, this is not what I want, blah, 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 whatever. So, okay, so you don't want this, we'll change it, we'll do this, we'll do that. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, she started to cry. And I'm like, listen, it's just makeup. I can remove the whole thing and redo it. Don't worry about it. I don't know what the issue was, whether she was not wanting to get married to that person or what. I really don't know. It definitely wasn't the makeup. Because even her friends who were there, they were all freaking out and saying, this is not how she is usually. I don't know. We don't know why she's behaving like this. Maybe she's stressed out. Maybe this, maybe that. I somehow managed to finish that makeup. And those were the days I was trying to quit smoking. So I had come down to 3 to 4 cigarettes a day. After that episode, I went back to my regular smoking. And I doubted myself for the next 3 to 4 years. And I'm the kind of person who goes to work every morning and I say, Bhagwan, aaj laaj bacha. Every day I say this to God, please see me through the day and to the best of my capability. So these kind of incidents, it shakes you up. But the fact is, you have to go on. You have to think of it as just one bad dream and move on. And that is what I would see. Don't get rattled by an opinion. Don't get rattled by trolling. These are things that you have to overcome at some point or the other. And see, I had never faced this before. That's why I got so rattled. I've been very blessed. I have just always met people who've been extremely supportive. And that is the reason why I'm always extremely supportive to the new hair, makeup, costume people. I feel that, they should feel that somebody's there to look after us. If anything goes wrong, he's there. You have to be a team player. Because this is all a collaborative effort. No one person can do everything.
Absolutely.
So that's what I would tell a 19-year-old makeup artist. You will face setbacks, but just get over it and move on.
And what made you get over this?
A lot of self-doubt I went through. But eventually I said, see, it is not even 0.1% of the people that I worked on who has had this issue. And in my head, I'm thinking, was she using something? Was she... I'm saying, it can't be the makeup because I dressed her in the morning. She was absolutely fine. एकदम से क्या हो गया? होता है ऐसा कभी-कभी.
And you never realize how your actions actually play on others' lives and careers and,
Yeah. And I'm usually very calm. When it comes to work, I'm very calm. In fact, I'm the calming factor for most people on set. But when something like this happens, you start wondering, Baba, is it time to pack my bags and leave now? Or what? And if it can happen to somebody as experienced as me, imagine what a star or a celebrity might say. Like even one sentence how it will rattle a 19-year-old or a fresher, how badly it can impact you. So sometimes people say things when they're upset about other things, they'll bring it out on,
Yeah.
But this is all part of the job. You learn on the job. कि अरे, sometimes moods off हो जाते हैं, tantrums हो जाते हैं. Sometimes they are stressed out कि ये scene बहुत इतना heavy scene है. That is their stress, not the makeup. It just comes out like that sometimes. So it's just a deflection. You
Yeah.
have to learn to take it. Oh, that's more important.
So, as a final note, could you give me one advice for young makeup artists who want to enter this industry and, hope to have a career that's as incredible as yours? What would you say to them?
I won't have one. I'll have quite a few things I would like to say if somebody wants to join the film industry, especially a makeup artist who wants to join the film industry. It's not easy. It's a lot of hard work. So you have to be prepared for that. It's very long hours. Family life is more or less screwed because you're working 12-hour shifts, which means you leave from home at least an hour and a half before, because usually locations are quite far. So by the time you get home, I don't think you're in any shape to even have a conversation with your partner or your wife or whoever. So you should be prepared for those schedules. Just be honest to what you're doing. Don't take it for granted. Not everybody gets a chance to be on a film set. Your stupidity will cost somebody else lakhs of rupees. So, I mean, if you come on set with a hangover or something that's not done, it's not okay. Make sure that you smell good because you're working in such close proximity to the women or the men. Keep hygiene as your priority. Make sure your brushes are clean. Make sure your equipment is clean. And this is not a glamorous profession. It's far from glamorous. A lot of people always tell me, "Arey, you're to jet setting all over the place. You're going by, private jets here, there." Arey, bro, we go to all these fancy locations. We get to see nothing except for where we shoot. We are from the airport to location, from location to airport and back home. So if you think that, we are traveling on somebody else's time and money, we are just working. So it's not easy. I'm saying if you're passionate, you need a lot of passion. It's like when my car enters the studio now, I feel like, I can breathe now. It's literally, and till date, I feel the same way every single day of my life. Probably that's why I've sustained that many years. It's not easy. It's just not easy. You have to know how to deal with tantrums. You have to know how to deal with stress. Because there is stress. Whether you like it or not, there will be stress. Light ja raha hai, ye karo, wo karo, aisa jaldi karo, jaldi. All this happens. You have to be ready. Aisa nahi ki I'm a makeup artist, I need 2 hours. You don't get 2 hours. So there are a lot of things that, and I'm saying if you have the passion, you will overcome the rest of it. But the passion has to be there. You should want to be on a film set. Otherwise, become a bridal makeup artist. You go and work for 2 hours and you're done. Or do celebrities when they're walking the red carpet. That's fine. That's a different approach. Doing films, not everybody. It's not everybody's cup of tea. This is my opinion.
Of course. And you also do makeup for the Ambani family for a lot of global high profile events. How is that pressure different from the pressure of a film set?
There is no pressure. See, I have been working with Mrs. Ambani for the last almost 25, 30 years. So, the pressure is about security. Pressure is about being on time. All of those pressures. But those are hardly any pressures. I mean, in any case, I'm one of those who will always go 5 minutes before. Usually I'm never late with the grace of God unless there is some catastrophe. I think in my 48 years of being in the industry, I must have been late by 15 minutes twice in my life.
Wow.
And that too, on the way, I will call 100 times to say, listen, I've reached here. Listen, I'm on my way. Listen. So I hate latecomers. I mean, if my assistants come late, if my driver comes late, I go mad. That's the problem. But like you said, coming back to working with Mrs. Ambani, it's a breeze. She's very easy. She's wonderful. She's always relaxed, and she gives you space. There are certain things she likes, and you follow that, and that's that.
And there's trust to do the
There is
job.
trust. There is trust, for sure, for sure. That also, like I'm saying, trust. Whether it is a celebrity, whether it is a society person, whoever that may be, trust comes with a lot of proving yourself over and over again. Actors don't trust just blindly. You know, you have to keep doing consistent good work for them to be able to trust you.
Absolutely. And I think that applies to anyone,
Anna?
anywhere, right?
Yeah.
That nothing is going to replace
Yeah.
consistency. Nothing.
Correct.
Even a fabulous job will not replace just consistent good work.
Yeah. But also, I have to say one thing. For makeup artists, you know, being lucky is also a part of it. Because you can be the best makeup artist in the world, but the person who's behind the camera has not lit the face well, your best makeup can look like crap. Whereas a mediocre makeup artist's work will look much better if the lighting is correct. So you have to be lucky that the person who's right behind the camera has to be the one you like. You know what I mean?
Love that. Thank you so much
My
for being
pleasure,
here.
Masoom.
Thank you so much for watching or listening all the way through. I'd love for you to hit that subscribe button. It helps this show reach more incredible people like you, and most importantly, get closer to our goal to build an incredible community with the Masoom Minawala Show. My goals with this show are audacious, and you all are the most important part of this journey. I want to create for you. So tell me what you want to hear. What stories could change your life? I read every single comment, and your reflections honestly help us shape where this show goes next. I'll see you in the next one.